So go ahead and create a new project. You can do this by going to File, New Project, and then you set your project location. Mine is Animation Tutorial, and then you select the folder and press Create. I already have my project set up, and this is the blank scene. So the first thing I always do is I go up to File, and then I save the scene. I'm going to call this one Animation. That way, as we're working in Unity, I can just press Control S and save the scene as we're going along, so we don't lose any progress if Unity crashes. So to work with animation, we're going to need a 3D model. And I'm going to use a 3D model created in Maya. So to import it, go Assets, Import, New Asset. And I have a directory set up called What You Need. And in there, there's the robot original model, the scripts, and the end scene Unity package. Throughout the tutorial, I'm going to be copying and pasting from these three script files. If you don't know how to open a .js file, you can just do right-click, open with. I prefer WordPad. I don't know what Macs use, but a JS script is the same thing as a text file. So we're going to be copying and pasting from these text files, and in the robot original model, that's going to be the model that we're going to use for animation. So go into the robot original model, robot, and double click on the robot.fbx file. And that will import this guy. But we also need to import his texture. So let's go up to Assets, Import New Asset, robot.bmp. And here's the UV texture. If you go to the Materials directory that was created with a robot, you can click on that default material, and you can drag the texture into here. Now our robot is set up with his material. And just to get the animation names out of the way, let's do that first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and open the animation.txt file I showed you in the scripts. Okay. So in the animations.txt file, I just compiled all of the animations and the frames that we're going to be using in this tutorial. So frame 1 through 78 is going to be our idle. And this was all done in Maya. I don't know if you know how to do animation in a 3D external application, but it's basically you just make a set of animations and you write down all of the frames where your animations are, and then once you import your model, you just add it right here. So you click on the plus button, and there we got idle. Now if we bring down our robot hierarchy, we can see we have the take 001 by default, but that's going to be changed because we're going to add a lot more animations. 3, 6, about 9. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to leave it called idle, and the start frame is 1. The end frame is 78. Add the other one. This one's called idle tap. 79 through 144. It's going to add 1 from your end and make that the start, so we don't have to worry about that one. 144. Walk. Oh, 144. Okay. Third one's called walk, and it's from 145 to 175. Run, 176 to 200. That one's set up good, we just have to name it. Run. Jump to 231. And I actually skipped an animation because we're not going to be using it in this tutorial. It was just the on ground. It basically was a dying sequence for our robot. So we're going to jump from 231 to 282. So the start is 282. To 309. So this one's jump, and this one is what was it? Punch. Shooting hand 1, 310 to 350. And shooting 2 hands, 351 to 391. We're almost done. Shooting 2 hands. And I'm just going to leave everything lowercase, so let's actually go back to the idle tap and make this T lowercase t. And the end frame was 391. Last one is spell from 392 to 444. Okay. Click apply. Now you can see it all went into the robot hierarchy. This is important because we are going to be attaching a script directly to the robot, the root, and the robot is going to have all of the animations attached to it. So we can't go to biped 1 and attach the script to it because that doesn't have the animations attached to it. So that's why these animations appear here. First thing I'm going to do is go game object, create other, plane. And I'm going to scale up the plane a little bit, and this is just going to be the ground for our robot. Then I'm going to throw in the robot. Drag and drop. And he looks really small right now. There he is. So what we want to do is click on your robot in the project and make the scale factor 1. There we go. Now he's the right size. I'm going to scale up the plane a little bit more. Then I'm going to throw in a light. So game object, create other, directional light. Rotate it however you like. Okay. I'm going to press Control S to save the scene. So now we got a robot in. And right now all he has is an animation script attached. And then a full array with all of the animations there. So in the next lesson, I'll be showing you how to create the script to get this guy moving using the idle, the walk, the run, and the jump. So now what we need to do is click on our robot and go up to Component, Physics, Character Controller, and then click on it, and then it's okay to lose the prefab. And that's going to add a character controller to our robot. It doesn't look like we can see it right now. I bet the height is too small. So let's up the height, and there it is. So we want the capsule to enclose our robot. So what we do is move up the center, and then up the height. Now this is where it's kind of tricky. You don't want too much over the head, but you want the bottom to be directly aligned with his feet. So I'm going to move the Y down a little bit, and there we go, that's perfect. Up the radius. I like mine about right there. We might change it later as we get to the punching part, but this is good for now.